In today's show, we discuss, is the recently spotted 3-eye Atlas an alien craft, or is it just an asteroid? If it is alien, how will you react?
And now, the TNT Talk Show, daring to go where other podcasts fear to tread.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
You caught me out this time. What the heck? Let me do that on. I've got a correct tire for jumping in there. Hello, I'm Tony Pasula, and I share the stage with my esteemed friend and colleague, Tayo Bowie. I don't know whether to call him his esteemed friend and colleague after that stunt.
I thought to myself, not this week, pal. Not this week.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, expecting the start that we normally have every week, but he jumped in and beat me to it. But yes, welcome to another show of shenanigans. Anyway, how are you, shall I call you my esteemed friend and colleague after that stunt?
Yeah, what the hell, Tony? What are you going to do? So anyway, yes, hello and welcome to some people in Lisbon. Now, unfortunately, we're
I've
a
been
bit...
to Portugal recently, but not
I thought you
Lisbon.
went to some island in the middle of nowhere.
I went to Madeira and I went to Portugal mainland, to the
Oh,
Algarve.
right. Oh, I
But
see.
not to Lisbon.
Isn't it Lisbon or something? They've got to have a lisp or something. Isn't it Lisbon?
I didn't hear it pronounced that way, but you could be correct. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I usually sort of give us facts and things, but this show happened in kind of a little bit of a rush. So sorry about that. I'll try to remember for next week and add it to next week's. But I'm not disrespecting Lisbon in any way. We're happy to have you on board. Now, Tyre's question time. Here's a quick question for you guys. Is it true that when you've tricked, finagled, wrangled, wrested, and teased everything out of Windows 11, it's almost as good as Windows 10? Is that true?
You've really got a beef about that operating system. I don't know why.
I'm not going to it. My Windows 10 is my last Windows. I'm actually not in the middle, but I've got the laptop. I'm going to spend maybe next week or so moving into Linux. I'm gone. Okay. I've already left Microsoft Office. I left Microsoft Office in April, I think. Okay. Yeah, so I've one foot out,
Okay.
That's
interesting.
No more Windows for me.
I'm a proponent and fan of Windows 11. I actually have tweaked it as to how I like it, and I get on with it, touch wood. And it's been very good and allowed me to do, a lot of things that I wouldn't normally do. So I'm very pleased with it. So well done, Microsoft. I'm a fan. There you go.
It's watching you all the time, isn't it?
It is indeed a little, but yeah. But you can't get away from the internet. If you want to use the internet, you're going to be watched. Anyway, let's move on to that.
We'll talk about that. We'll make a show about that.
On to the show and the topic we're going to discuss today, which is really, really up and coming now, which is it's not a dynamite conspiracy show, but it could border it anyway. And the question we're asking is the 3-eye Atlas an alien craft? And if it is, how will you react? Now, obviously, some of you may be scratching your heads wondering what the heck's 3-eye Atlas, what they on about. Tayo, as this was your topic, do you want to explain a little bit what the 3-eye Atlas actually is?
Okay, so I think it's actually properly pronounced 3-eye / Atlas.
Atlas, yeah.
So you got to put the slash in 3-eye. So if you're looking for it and you're going 3-eye Atlas, you can't find it. I think you should be able to find it, whether you put the slash in or not. But it says 3-eye / Atlas. The I and the Atlas were typically in caps. Everything's all caps because Atlas is an acronym. So 3-eye, I stands for interstellar. So 3 interstellar means the third interstellar object that we as humans have observed, so officially at any rate. And an interstellar object is an object that comes from outside our solar system. So depending on how you want to count it, we've got, what is it, 8 or 9 planets if you count Pluto as a planet. I'm a boomer, so I count Pluto as a planet because I was taught
Makes
it
it
was a
10.
planet. Eh?
Is not 10?
No, 9.
Am I losing it?
Probably. Dude, I saw your shirt, okay? So
Mercury, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn.
what about Earth?
I've carried Earth, haven't I?
Mercury, Venus,
Mercury, Venus, Earth,
Earth,
Mars,
Mars.
Jupiter,
Mhm.
Saturn,
Yeah.
Neptune, or is it Uranus
Uranus.
first?
Uranus.
Uranus, Neptune. Oh, yeah, Pluto, that's 9.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was 10? Oh, yeah, because there's the sun. There's
What?
10, the sun.
Sun is not a planet?
I know it's not, but it's 10 objects in our solar system that
Oh, that's
are
moving the
big.
goalpost a bit, pal. This
Well,
is
yeah, okay. I should remember on the picture on the wall, that was all. Okay, anyway, nine planets if you
for
count
boomers, it's
Pluto.
9. For everybody else, if you want to make it 8 and you've changed your mind about Pluto being a planet, that's your problem. Anyway, so if it
What
comes
about
from outside,
Nibiru?
yeah, well, I didn't even know about that. Is it? Yeah, I didn't know about that until maybe 6 months ago. I
Yeah.
think definitely 2025. And when I read about the wandering planet, and I was
Mm.
thinking to myself, oh, this is something for Tony, man. What the hell is this? And
Nibiru.
then,
Just to fill in our listeners, go, what are they on about? What are they on about?
mm,
Nibiru is a mythical ninth or 10th planet, ninth planet, beyond Pluto. It's supposed to be big. You can't see it because it's there's not much light out there, but it does apparently circle the sun. That's my understanding of Nibiru.
yeah, no,
No,
no, no,
I thought it
boo.
was the outermost planet, bigger than any of our planets that we're familiar with, and it was huge in the distance. And they can't
Yeah,
see it because there's no light. They
it's
can't
got this
detect it.
seriously elliptical, weird orbit thing. So most of the time we don't see it.
We don't even
And
see it when we're supposed to be in
sorry,
view. We don't even see it when it's supposed to be in view. We've never seen it, have we?
the boo. Sorry. Okay. So anyway, it's when I read about it, I was shocked because I didn't know. I've never heard of it before. I mean, if it's a planet and it's what's that word for it? Helio something. It goes around the sun.
Heliocentric.
Yes, if it's a planet that is heliocentric, why don't we just put it in the textbooks? Ah, because it was for a long time it was thought to be mythical, but
Mm.
now they've actually seen it or found it or something. So yeah, it's real, and I'm like, well, that's shocking news. So it's still, I don't know, ifs, whens, buts, and howsoever's. I think the people who know about it will probably be able to set us right. So write into the TNT Talk Show.com, whatever it is. I don't even
It's
know the blooming thing
TNT
myself.
Talk Show at mail.com. Let's use that properly
Yeah, thank you. And it's on my if you're watching, it's I use it as my thingy.
as your
Anyway,
name
uh,
on your screen. Yes.
exactly. Anyway, okay, I'm going to check that out and we'll come back to it because I don't want to
Okay.
be distracted. So,
Okay.
for our solar system, let's call it the 9 planets and the sun,
Yep.
okay? You know, the typical thing that you see in films, E.T., Phone Home, and all that sort of thing. So, if an object comes from outside of that system, then it's called interstellar. Interstellar, it's wandering between stars, sort of thing. And I have only known of one other interstellar object, and that was Oumuamua, a wonderful name, Oumuamua, which visited us, behaved oddly, people said, and left, just went his merry way.
That was 2I.
Yes, that well, it would have been, wouldn't it? If three eyes,
It's the
the
third
third,
one.
then yeah, Oumuamua was two eye. I never heard anybody mention it as two eye though. So apparently there's this weird object, and people are calling it weird. I'm sure Tony's going to go into it because he knows this, a lot more about these things than I do. It's some weird object that's coming in from outer space. Sorry, from interstellar space, and it's doing things that an asteroid, which is what it might be, could be, for an asteroid, is doing things that asteroids don't typically do. And I
Mhm.
think Tony's going to mention this. I'm predicting he's going to mention the forward tail.
Yeah.
So
It has got a
if you look
tail,
at
so
it,
that's why they think it's an asteroid, because
if
that's
you
how
got a
they believe.
tail as a if you've seen pictures of Halley's comet, you will know that as it approaches the sun, it's got the tail behind it because
Corona.
it's burning off stuff. And as it
Carbon.
burns off stuff,
Yeah.
the tail forms behind it. And when it's gone round the sun and it's leaving, well, the tail is still pointing in the same direction, but now it's ahead of the asteroid. So it's got a leading tail. So one of the weird things we're told about Three Eye Atlas is that its tail is in front of it, heading towards the sun. And
Which
that's
doesn't
like
make sense. Yeah.
that really doesn't make any sense. And as for Three Eye is interstellar. What is Atlas? You're asking. Tyler, what is Atlas? Atlas is
Atlas is the asteroid
asteroid.
terrestrial impact last alert
I thought I was
system.
going to do that bit, but never mind. Okay. I was actually asked to do that bit, but okay, fine. No, asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system,
Yeah.
and it's a well, this is exactly what it says. It's this system that we've built to protect us from asteroids which might slam into Earth and be a bit troublesome in so doing.
I'm not
And
sure. Can I just jump in there? I don't think
no,
it's going to protect us. All it
no,
does is
that's us.
alert
It's coming.
us.
Yeah,
Yes, but it's not protecting us. I don't think we've mastered the skills or the technology yet to protect us. We can't blast it out the sky.
well, we did in
Well,
1998 in that movie.
we did it in the movie, but we've managed to move an asteroid. Remember the DART asteroid using the DART system. This was a test that they used just a few years ago to actually move a asteroid trajectory. I can't even say trajectory. There we go.
Mm, mm.
And they sent a ship towards it, exploded the ship nearby or on the surface, and they measured afterwards if the asteroid had moved trajectory, and it had. So we can bump things, and I don't think we can shoot them out the sky. I don't think we've got that capability, even with nukes. I don't think it shoots it out the sky, but we can nudge them. And if we intercept them, if they are heading towards Earth, obviously, we could intercept them whilst they're heading in our direction and just nudge them. So they move and they nudge and they go past the Earth so they don't hit us. So that's what we can do. Although it's not a fully fledged system yet, it's there. That's all it can do. So it's not like lasers or anything or rockets that can protect us, but we can certainly identify them. That's the point.
Now, the good thing about it all is that it all works in harmoniously. The further out you detect the object, the further out you can strike it, the smaller the deviation you need. Because if it's close to you, you need a lot of energy to move it to move it a long way out. But if it is far away from you, a little nudge builds up over the distance it travels, and it will miss us by a long shot. So that's why it's a good idea to know, as soon as possible what's going on, and do we need to start worrying about this object? But we don't have
What's
to worry about Three Eye Atlas, by the way. It's not
No,
coming
no, it's
anywhere
not. It's
near
not
us.
coming near us. But what
No.
is strange
Well,
about it is
mm,
its behavior compared to what we expected to see from an asteroid. And it like as Ty's already alluded to, it's got the corona, which is the tail part, was at the front for a period. It has now been observed at the back, so they have
the corona
seen
is
it.
actually the halo bit.
The
The
halo,
tail is the
sorry,
tail.
the
Mm,
tail, whatever it was called, I can't remember. Um,
tail's the tail.
Tail, okay, but it's now been observed at the rear. So it was like, well, why was it at the front, which was a bit unusual. Also, the behaviour of it, there was there wasn't the usual expected gas emission, because as it's getting closer to the sun, you get an emission, a particular type of emission, but that wasn't happening as well. So you were getting a tail, but not the emissions that they were expecting, which is from a normal asteroid. So it's made up of something peculiar, and that's what's really strange. Because the telescopes that they use can show the light bouncing off it as it gets to the sun, they can see more visibly from it, and they can detect trace elements from the object. And this thing is huge, by the way. It's quite elongated, which is an unusual shape for an asteroid. Most of them do tend to be round. This is an elongated shape, which again was similar to Muamua, but this one is longer and bigger, and it's certainly the biggest thing that's ever been spotted as an asteroid or deemed as an asteroid in our solar system. So it's certainly raised a number of questions. Let's put it that way.
I've certainly got questions.
Go on.
One question is this: if 3i Atlas is an alien spaceship, if it is, why didn't it just fly directly to Earth instead of looping around the sun like a reluctant tourist on holiday?
Because it doesn't know it's coming to us. It's just coming within proximity to maybe analyze us. And there's also an effect where some people are speculating that as it goes round the sun, it's going to recharge or turn on. And there's a period, the word escapes me now, Helios? No,
I know what you're talking about. Not periodicity, but something like that. Okay, I'll find it in a second.
yeah, it's a term where it gets energized.
Oh, is that
And
what you mean? Oh,
yeah,
no, no. What? Okay, I'm thinking about it going around the sun. So, comets, whatever, they go around the sun. Okay, they come in, they come zooming in. The sun is, if you remember that famous experiment, is it experiment or illustration of gravity of Einstein's idea of gravity and how gravity warps space.
yes,
They generally talk about a ball, a heavy object in the middle of a sheet or a tarpaulin or something,
yes,
and how it curves the tarpaulin, and then something comes in and it zooms towards the object. So the sun being the heaviest thing in our solar system, all these asteroids and whatever, they just naturally sort of fall in towards the sun's gravitational well. So when it does that, we see it on its way towards the sun. Then it goes round the sun, and then it ejects from our solar. Well, it moves outwards. Whilst it's behind the sun, we don't see it. Now,
no,
I thought donkeys years ago, I thought in the 70s we had put up a satellite so that we can always see the far side of this, what's on the
no,
other side of the sun.
no, it's too far
Apparently,
away. No.
no, we just drop one off, pal. That's all, and we just activate it when you're on the other side.
How would it send us messages if it's behind the sun?
We need a third one. We need an intermediate, some like they did in Independence Day. That's how the
Oh,
aliens
right.
like that. Yeah,
Okay. They
yeah, we
use
could
use the satellite so it's line of sight. So one is behind the sun and one is at
permanently.
the side of the sun.
Yeah, and comes with us. Oh no! So it only needs to be active when we don't see things. But for 6 months of the year, we don't see the other side of the. We don't know what's coming. And that's a
Hmm.
bit dodgy. Do you see
Well,
what I'm
true,
saying?
yeah. Also, you can't even focus telescopes on it because the sun glare would damage the telescopes, and
Precisely.
so you've got that. So you're blind effectively.
Hmm.
But there is a process called, hang on, I'm trying to find the name of it, called Helion or something. And where is it now?
That does what anyway? Don't worry too much about that.
Helion is just the term where it goes close to the sun and it almost draws the energy from the sun and picks up speed because it's being
Oh, it's a
slingshot.
slingshot. It's a
Yeah,
slingshot you're talking about.
yeah, basically, but there's the term for it, and that is when it gets its extra energy boost, and so that would maybe switch it on because that's what people are speculating, that this thing could be a dormant probe, intelligent probe, and as it comes closer to the sun, which is its final destination in its solar system here, it will pick up the energy it needs to turn itself on, and in so doing we will then sort of pick up intelligent or evidence of intelligence from it, and that would certainly throw a spanner in the works as far as as far as we're concerned, because then we will have to accept that there is intelligent life, and we couldn't hide it. If this thing did show intelligence, that it was, switched on or started emitting certain signature, or then transmitted in some way that we picked up, it would be ridiculous. We wouldn't know what to do. We would be a bit apprehensive, I'm sure, but you couldn't hide it. The governments couldn't hide it from us because it would be all for all to see. Because there's amateur astronomers out there who've got some pretty hefty equipment, and they're not controlled by anybody, and they would announce it, for instance.
Well, here's the here's the thing. Perihelion is what you're calling it.
Perihelion, there you go.
The perihelion.
I had it written down, and here it is. It's here, right in front of me. Now that you've said it, there it is.
Yeah, we believe you too. Yes, totally believe you.
I should have highlighted it, but there we go.
What were you asking me just now? What did you say?
Oh, about whether if it then switches on, for argument's sake.
That would be the first sign. That would be the first sign of true intelligence, because that's very sneaky. I mean, I really like it, by the way. I mean, I tip my hat off to them. You come in looking like an asteroid, you
Yeah.
disappear from view, and then go,
Well, no,
right,
you-
weapons
you-
out, let's do this
You
thing.
come in looking like an asteroid because then you don't want to be conspicuous, do you?
Yeah. So
And that's all it's doing.
If an advanced civilization actually built 3i Atlas, why did they give it a hyper? Oh, haven't mentioned that yet.
No.
Have you mentioned the fact that it's only 5 degrees off our plane? What's it called again?
The
our
axis.
our axis. There's a name for it.
No, I didn't know that.
What?
I didn't know that one. I wasn't in my notes.
Oh, okay.
No.
So the planets are in quite a narrow band on a plane. It's
Yeah.
as if all the planets are on the same plane. Now, there's some, some give and take, but frankly, given the sizes involved, it's more or less on a flat plane. And there's a name for it, which I suppose.
Well,
you
it's
happen to-
almost like it's spinning around the sun, which is moving. So its gravity will pull it and push it according to the spin, isn't it? If you have a ball on a rope and you start throwing it, waving it around your head, it goes in a certain direction, doesn't it? It goes round in a circle.
Yeah, but it doesn't
around your
have
head.
to be all 9 planets, though. But it says all 9 planets are basically in the same plane.
Yeah, but they're all affected with one another, so they will all gravitate together. So that makes sense for our solar system, because you're all spinning around a big body. They're not like all spinning at different angles, because the fact that they've all been spinning around the sun, they'll all align, and that's exactly what's been happening. If it was a newly formed star with planets, then you'd discover that the planets would be spinning around that star like you would envisage electrons spinning around a central atom, all randomly moving. Whereas over a period of time, all those planets will align into a straight line as they spin around their star. And that's exactly what we're witnessing in our solar system. Does that make sense?
I don't believe you. That's a problem. But I'm
Oh.
gonna check it out. So the point being that we are on this plane,
Yep.
and there's a word for it which I can't find now. Have you got it written down? Because when
No.
I find it, don't tell me you got it written down. There's
No,
this
I don't
plane.
have that.
There's this plane, and apparently 3i Atlas is coming at just 5 degrees off the plane. And and there's a gentleman called Avilib, Aviloeb, and he's a scientist, and he's quite well known in the field. And he's actually put his neck out, which is,
Unusual.
good for him. Because modern scientists don't usually do that. And he said, well, look, this thing is coming in at 5 degrees. And that's really odd, because you wouldn't expect it. I mean, as a happenstance, it's odd. I think it's 0.5% probability. So not an impossibility, but it's taken on its own, it wouldn't be anything. Okay?
Yeah.
It would just be, oh, that's odd. And if it's just been a normal asteroid, it would be, oh, did you notice it came in at 5 degrees? Isn't that interesting? And then you just leave it. You don't mention it any longer,
Yeah.
because it's like it just happened. But along with a series of other things, it has given people some cause for concern.
Yeah. It is
So yeah,
strange, isn't it? Because you're right, there are some things about it that make it odd, and that's one of them. The corona, which wasn't doing not corona, I keep saying corona. The
tail.
tail, which was
Mm.
facing the wrong way. Again, that's
It
you
wasn't
don't
actually.
get.
It wasn't actually. I can explain.
Oh, go
So
on.
yeah. So what it was is that it's not the first time we've seen this. We've seen this before, and it has to do with the way the placement of the camera that photographs the object and the particulars of that photography. Can look like the tail is ahead of the comet, whereas it is not. So, I mean, just imagine that for some reason the camera is doing something and it takes a certain type of picture. It looks like that's the way the object the tail is moving, but it actually isn't. Now, the person who explained this didn't explain it very well, but what I took away from it is it's not the first time we've seen this, and there was no suggestion that the other times it was anything but an asteroid.
Right.
So I'm sorry, I mean, it's nice and exciting, and then it's one of those things where you go, hey, and then the tail is pointing the wrong way. Yay! But that's natural. Yeah, I'm afraid it's one of those moments.
I mean, the majority view from science community is that
Mhm.
this is just a standard interstellar comet, a natural interstellar comet. Granted, it's coming from the center of our galaxy, or looks like it's coming from the center of our galaxy, as opposed to where we are in relation to the galaxy. So if you imagine the galaxy is a disk, the bobble bit in the middle, and it sprays out because there are arms, aren't there, in the galaxy? And if you laid it flat like you would a coin, we're in these spiral arms that come off of it at angles, and we're in one of the arms off of the central galaxy part, the biggest bulbous bit in the middle. And they're speculating that this three-eye atlas is actually has come from the middle section to us. So it could have been traveling for, you know, millions, if not, millions of years, if not billions, because it's come from the center of our galaxy and it happens to come out and coinciding with our little tiny little solar system on the edge of the outer edge of one of the arms, spiral arms of this galaxy Milky Way that we're in. And that in itself is quite a feat, let's be honest, because it takes light, the speed of light, 100,000 years to go from one end of our galaxy, if it was a disk, one part of the disk, to the other diameter of the disk. That's the speed of light. This object is not obviously traveling at the speed of light, it's traveling at a rate of knots. I think it was 200 and
300 plus 300 and something, 300.
300,000 miles per
Yeah, miles
second.
per, no, per
No,
hour.
per hour. So not per second, per hour. So it would have taken, if it was coming from the center of our galaxy, it would have taken billions of years to get to us at that speed. It just would, because it's a fraction of the speed of light. And yeah, so this thing is older than our whole solar system traveling. So is it a probe? Could it be a probe, or is it just debris that is actually just flung out from the center of our galaxy and journeyed all its way to where we are today? So we are witnessing something that isn't intelligent, but it is at the big, emitted from the center of our galaxy literally billions of years ago. That's fascinating in itself.
If you believe in billions of years and that sort of thing, I'm obviously not an old Earth aficionado, if that's the word, which it isn't. I'm not an old Earth enthusiast. That's not the right word either.
Believer.
Yeah, believer. I'm not an old Earth believer.
So that you
I,
don't look at the facts and evidence.
I'm actually a facts and evidence man, and I'm saying that the facts and the evidence that they're adducing don't make any sense. And
What the
funnily
half
enough,
life of doesn't it's provable half life of of radioactive decay is provable. That's provable, and you can see the half-life of and decay of material, and you can see that it's some of it has completely changed because it's so you know how long it's existed because you
No,
can
you don't,
see.
because you don't know the initial conditions. This is a well-known argument, so it's no point going rolling over it.
Okay,
Not as if I'm the only one who's come up with this argument. It's well
okay,
known in science, and I'm not saying anything unusual. Anyway, what I want to
okay.
say to you is that the word we're looking for, we couldn't find earlier, for everything being on the same plane, is ecliptic.
Ecliptic. Okay.
Ecliptic is ecliptic. Okay,
Yep.
and just so that you know, there's Upsilon Andromeda A. Planets C and D are inclined about 30 degrees relative to each other. Kepler 56, a multi-planet system unambiguously confirmed to be misaligned with planets orbiting all over the place. So it's not a slam dunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a
So
fairly new star system though? The Kepler one. That's why they're all over the place.
it doesn't say. We've
Okay.
got loads of them. Okay. I would say not, because later on in this thing I've got on my screen, it says a young binary system. So if it said a young binary system for HK Tauri, but not for the others, just take what you want to take from that. Anyway, so back to where I was. I mean, I just don't see why it would be. But anyway, where we're going from this is that we are now talking about Three Eye Atlas, and you're saying it came from far away, whatever.
Possibly. They're speculating. I don't
Yeah, okay.
know.
And I want to ask, and I've come with a series of questions, not a series of speculations. Now, I got
Okay.
excited about this, and then I got in touch with you, and I thought, because I am a facts and evidence man, actually, I heard someone said, I was watching a YouTube video, and someone said that this thing was transmitting pi.
It
It was
wasn't pi, it was prime numbers, wasn't it?
sorry, I beg your pardon. You're right. Actually, I take that. Yes, it was transmitting prime numbers. Like, dude, if it's transmitting pi, the what do you call it again?
Prime numbers.
Prime numbers. I don't
That's a
care,
slam
man.
dunk.
Tony's
That's
right.
intelligent.
it's like it's like, guys, get your shotguns out because we're gonna have a party, man. Um, something's coming around the corner, and then nothing. So when you see a single, I had a fantastic phrase that I was going to lay on you tonight. It's a single point of something. I've heard it before. A single source. A single source of truth.
Yep,
When you have a single source of truth, you've got to be really skeptical about it.
absolutely.
And that was the problem, that it's only that guy that's mentioned it. I mean,
Yeah.
Avi Lieb, or I suppose you pronounce Loeb, Lieb. I think so.
Loeb. Yeah, it hasn't been because normally that's the whole point. You have if someone comes up with a theory and it has to be corroborated.
Yeah.
They have to find evidence and repeatability that someone independently can corroborate
Mm-hmm.
the evidence or the
The
claim that's
findings.
been
Yeah, the
made. Yeah, the
observation. Yeah.
findings. So the figures, the details, the numbers, they have to be corroborated. And there has to be, even if it's close to it, then you got some margin of error and you can sort of take it as correct. But no one has come forward and said, hold on, there's prime numbers being emitted by this thing. That I didn't even know there was anything emitted from it anyway, as far as I was concerned. But we have heard that someone has said they've picked up prime numbers. Now, I don't know whether that was somebody mixing up their figures or whatever, because that sounds completely ridiculous.
Well, it was only
Where
an
was it
11
emitting
minutes,
from?
11 second, was an 11-second blast that has not been repeated. So the guy caught us an 11-second blast. And let's not forget, and what gave it some credibility and why I got excited and I was waiting for more is because let's not forget the wow signal.
Yes.
You want to
That
explain
came
what the
from the
wow
same
signal is?
place. Yeah, what this is a signal that was caught in 1979, and it was a really, really strong burst of a signal that never been seen before, and subsequently it's only happened one other time since. But that was the first time it was caught on the data of one of the satellites. And one of the guys looking at it, he actually put a circle round it and wrote the words "wow" because it was so much bigger than we'd ever seen before. And it was captured in the data and it was coming from the constellation of Sagittarius, but there was nothing there. That's the problem. It was nothing there that could have emitted that signal. But the signal was 1,000 times in magnitude, in fact, probably more than that, than we'd ever captured before on any system listening out into the cosmos. So when that signal came about, the guy who looked at it circled it and there's evidence of that signal being received and put wow around it because it was the first ever something that powerful. But we haven't had it since, or we've had a similar one again from Sagittarius for a minute and a half. So it was longer. It happened afterwards. But again, there was nothing obvious from the Sagittarius region of the sky what this thing is and where it's coming from. But the wow
Exactly.
signal was the first one.
Exactly. So this is why I thought to myself, well, okay, it's 11 seconds, but if it repeats, that'll be interesting because,
Mm,
prime numbers, that's how we think we ourselves would want to communicate with another intelligent species. Well, I say another intelligent species. The mere fact that we have a certain country of people who are very powerful and got a lot of money or and then a lot of debt, but we have a lot of listeners from that particular country, so I'm not going to name the country. The mere fact that they
you're
and
being bad here.
the mere fact that they keep getting proctored by interstellar visitors. Are we that intelligent? I mean, we've got to ask the question. If this object is looking for intelligent life, it might have scanned us and thought, "Yeah, I'm looking for intelligent life. There's no point. There's no point visiting that crowd." And this is why we have to stop their TV. I think their TV signals is what is keeping aliens away. I think people are intercepting their signals and going, this is what they've got. Nah, okay, let's just nah.
Look, okay, look, let's actually sum up in terms of what we think this is, and then we can speculate what the outcome would be had if it is and if it does turn out to be a genuine probe of intelligent life, then we can discuss that. First off, let's seriously consider what the scientific community believe this thing to be. What's the biggest consensus? Do they think it's a natural interstellar comet, or is it an exotic geological, I don't know, means? What is it? Or could it be an extraterrestrial technological artifact? What is it?
They think it's an exotic, is likely to be an exotic interstellar object.
Object, right? So it's not your standard
No,
object,
no, it
but
has done
it's
some weird things. It glowed green. Did you mention you didn't
no, I
mention the
didn't
green
mention
glow.
that. No, no, that was weird.
It
That was
grows. You
true.
see, this Leap, Avi Leap, before Three Eye Atlas, he's said stuff about what we can expect of an interstellar alien craft. And he said it'll probably enter our solar system and then send out probes. So he
Yeah.
said this a long time ago. He didn't say it recently. And one of the first observations we've seen, and I think it's been corroborated, but yeah, I think Tony will have to confirm this, is that when it first entered our solar system, this thing glowed extra bright green and seemed to give up small objects, which was subsequently lost sight of.
Yeah, because they were a lot smaller than it. So
Were a lot smaller than it. So from that point of view, it looks like if you want to take that thought process, it entered the solar system and sent out probes.
yeah,
So
which
okay,
is
so that's a
quite
little,
frightening.
and we don't know that, but all this green thing was like, what's all that about? So that was a bit of a question there. It could be natural, but I think I'm right in saying we've not seen that before.
No, we
I don't
haven't.
think we've seen
No,
an interstellar object, any object, enter our solar system and start sort of glowing green.
no, that's true.
Mm.
Nothing did that. I mean, it does look like it could be exotic, like you say, but it's not necessarily technological. So it is going to be an exotic, but a just interstellar comet that's unusual. We're seeing it for the first time. Obviously, it's made up of some unusual material, perhaps. That's what makes it exotic. So it's not your
Hmm.
norm because it could be very much older than all the others we've seen. Hence why it's slightly green. It actually behaves weirdly because it's so old. That's why I think it is. But, if, and it's a big if it turns out that a few scientists, like this chap who you've just mentioned, are right, and this turns out to be something intelligent in nature, then what the heck will happen? Let's have a
Well,
think.
well, what I like about this is the idea that it's going to disappear behind the sun in the perihelion and come back out with a massively changed orbit
Yeah.
that brings it close to Earth or directly at Earth.
No, I don't think it's coming directly to
I know
Earth.
right now it's meant to pass a long way. It's going towards Jupiter or something. It's nothing to do with us. There's nothing to
Yep,
worry about. We can everybody go to bed happy and no, not an issue whatsoever. I'm saying the first sign of trouble, the first sign that we will know is when it comes out of perihelion
in December.
in December. And at that stage, instead of whizzing past, I think it's Saturn. No, it's not actually
Yeah, it's
Neptune or
Jupiter.
something. Jupiter.
Yeah, it's going to go to
Instead of going
Jupiter.
past Jupiter, it's suddenly heading towards us. So it's done something when we couldn't see it.
Yeah,
Well, that would to me be all right, guys, strap in
yeah,
because that wouldn't be normal. That wouldn't be natural. That would have been something seriously abnormal and unnatural.
absolutely,
So that would
absolutely.
be proof positive that there's hanky panky going on.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
if they treat us the way we treated natives, that when we met technologically inferior natives, yeah, it's going to be fun.
uh, I mean, let's be honest, right? If if we had to seriously consider that this thing was intelligent in nature, then what what would the reaction be? I mean,
I love it. I love that
some
question.
people are saying it could be a black swan event. You heard about this?
Yeah. Well, okay. You know me, I'm going to poo-poo the whole thing, but go on, go on.
It's just a black swan event. It's almost like a conspiracy, isn't it? It's like an event capable of reshaping human civilization, and it would be it would change our civilization at an instant, and we would be shocked at first. I mean, would be obviously the governments of the world wouldn't be able to hide it because it'd be obvious for people to see and measure, etc. So we would have to then take on board that this thing is intelligent. So we have a load of questions. First we'd be in awe, maybe in panic. What is this? What is it? Is it friend or foe? What do they want? Are they far more intelligent than us? Are they friendly? Are they? It would be an absolutely seismic shift to our society as a whole.
If
And
if
go on.
if they were friendly, if it is friendly, sorry, if it is intelligent, I beg your pardon. If it is intelligent, we will know when it heads towards Earth, stops, and then heads away from Earth. Then we will go. That was really. They took one look at Earth and were like, yeah, no, I don't think so. And by the way, if it is headed towards here, we are going to have to tell that nation I was talking about. We are all going as the rest of the world. All going to have to get on its bottom and say, listen, this isn't the time for your cowboy attitude, okay? You don't shoot first and ask questions later because these guys might be more powerful than us. Settle
Likelihood
down.
they will be, yes.
Yeah, we can do what it's done so far. So you Don't be,
Yeah.
because those guys gung ho, boom, 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 and then those guys will come out and they'll translate. We were going to leave you alone, but since you decided to fire on us, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if because I think I know how old you are, ish, sort of ish. You probably were a little too young for Captain Scarlet.
I was not. I remember Captain Scarlet.
Fine, Captain Scarlet was a puppet show in the 60s and 60s, I think. With
Late
reruns,
60s.
yeah, with reruns in the 70s. But do you know what caused the problem with the Mysterons? They accidentally blew up the Mysteron moon base. That was that that was the problem. That's why the Mysterons were out to get us. Because when we landed on the moon, they were, look, this is interesting. Nice looking people to talk to. And then there's people, oh look, what's that? Boom, 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 boom. And they're like, what the hell, man?
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that philosophy has changed somewhat.
I hope so.
Although, well, although we would be wary and we would,
We've got COVID, man. We can give them the COVID
no, we
virus.
would as a species. I tell you what, it would do. It would actually bring everyone together on the
It
planet.
depends. It depends. See, I have this, I'm not going to call it a fantasy. I have this comedy skit in my mind that I haven't fleshed out properly. That the aliens are coming and everybody is celebrating and we've made contact and we're dying to see what these guys look like. Okay. And then they come in the ships and blah, 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 just like in the movies. They come to land in New York because that's where the United Nations is, and the blah blah blah, and they're all dancing around, and the yay yay people with their symbols, and the hippie here, they're all dancing around. New Age guys with their crystals. Door opens, and this guy that looks a bit like me, as to say African looking guy, steps out. Hello, and everybody goes, "What the fuck? What the hell is this?" You can imagine the Americans going, huh? And the guy goes, hey, you all, what? No, no freaking way. No, no, no. Okay,
The
guy, we don't know who you are. Get back in. We don't deal with immigrants here. No, no aliens. No, 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 no speak the English. Go away, go away.
Okay, look. On a serious note, the likelihood of them to be humanoid, although saying that, do you remember we covered this many episodes ago, one of our early shows about the Disclosure Project?
Yeah,
Do you
which
remember
you're
this?
still expecting, don't you?
Yeah, we are still expecting that, or it would have been poo-pooed. But they were saying that there was or funny enough, I even shared it with you actually. I don't know if
I
you
was waiting
saw
for you
it.
to mention it. The
Yeah,
Israeli chap,
the Israeli military, he was a military head of
space
space,
security.
yeah, space security for Israel, has said he's become a whistleblower just recently. He said that President Trump is aware that we humans have been in touch with alien species, but it's the alien species are telling our governments not to tell the populations at large that they exist because we're not ready for them. So all this speculation, all this UFO stuff where everybody was saying, we've made contact, we've seen them, and the governments have always denied it. It's because the governments have been informed not to tell us
Hmm.
because by the species themselves. So it's not the
Did you believe
government's
the
fault.
story?
Well, we've touched on this before. It just seems to be a reoccurring theme that
Okay,
this has happened. So,
but I would say I wasn't really listening because I don't believe it at all. But where he completely and totally lost me was when he said Trump knows. Trump knows and he hasn't said anything. That guy. Look,
I
man.
know
He's
that's
got the
far-fetched.
greatest secret. He's got the greatest secret that has ever been. Right? I know stuff that would make your hair curl. Well, not you, Tony, but you know what I mean.
And he hasn't said anything.
There is no way. You wouldn't even tell Trump.
No,
No one in their right minds will tell Trump.
no. He
Yeah,
couldn't keep it
he
secret.
couldn't
But
keep it secret
but
for a
I'm not
second.
so sure. I think there are things he keeps secret, like the Epstein files. He kept he kept that secret, but obviously that's now come out
Do you
to
know what?
bite
That's an
him.
excellent point.
Yeah.
No,
So
seriously, that's a very, very good point.
yeah. So
Yeah, he
there are
has.
things he can keep secret if he wants
Okay,
to, but he
I'll take
does.
it back. I walk it back because you've proved your point.
He
You've walked it back.
he if he does know, and I reckon he does, he's actually signed the Official Secrets Act as part of this, and his duty as commander in chief has to be aware of this, but has been sworn not to say anything. And that's as simple as it is. And so I think he may know, and I think a lot of key leaders on the planet know.
I would never sign that as a leader. I would never sign an official secret act that bound me before you showed me what it was. And if you didn't show me, I'd have you taken out and shot. You'd have to. You would. I mean, that would be to me treason. You don't do that. I will make up my mind. I'm the leader. You don't hold me ransom. How can you have a secret that you're going to share with me and then I'm bound? That makes you above me. And if you
No,
want to be above me, you
no
have to
one's
go out there.
above the country. No one's above
Yeah, I am
the
the country.
state.
I was
No, you're not.
elected by
That
the.
that's he's not a king. That's what I
Well,
mean.
he's the highest elected official, and
It is. So
the
what?
operative word there is elected. No one elected these great people and said they can hold
No.
secrets.
But if the aliens, if we call them
The
that,
aliens are not elected either.
no, they're not.
Exactly.
But the chaos that would
That's
ensue,
the aliens feel there be chaos. I am the leader. Trump is whoever the leader is. That person is the leader. That person is elected. That person is the one who gets to decide, not aliens, no one else. Now, if he decides when he's been told about it that the aliens said they're going to blow us up if he blabs, yeah, okay, he's not going to blab. But if he says, well, what's the problem? He said, well, people can't take it. He says, no, I know how to tell the people. What the hell?
yeah,
And
but
people have
that's
a
not
right to
his
know.
choice. It's not honestly.
It is his
It's
choice
not
because he's the
if
elected leader.
yeah, but you have to go with the information that
No, he
because you're
doesn't have to
making
go with
out that the
anything.
elected leader.
He is the elected
It
leader.
doesn't
He is.
matter. The
It
elected
doesn't
leader.
matter.
If
Your
you
brain cells have got to do. Your brain cells have got to do what they're told. Do you know what happens when they do their own thing? Cancer. It's called cancer. You can't just go around doing your own thing. You can't have something else telling your brain, your cells, oh, do this because of blah, blah, blah. There is no blah, blah, blah. There's only one authority. And that one single point of authority is what has to make choices for everyone. So you tell the person, you trust them, they ran for office, they won the bloody office, tell them this is what's going on. And then trust them to know what they're doing. You have to. That's the only way that you have a coherent social order. No one can be, because once you accept that, by the way, what else do they tell you? And then you've already accepted that they know stuff and you have to bow to them. You're no longer the leader.
That's not how it works.
But that is how it
That's
works. They
not
just
how it
told you,
works.
they just told, hey, there's official secret rights. Who made the official secrets?
have you ever actually signed anything like that, like a non-disclosure agreement?
Yes.
Okay, so you should know this.
No, I wasn't elected. I was just an ordinary worker. I was just an
Yeah,
ordinary
but
worker.
you've been privy to information that cannot be disclosed. That's what the NDA is for.
Yeah, I wanted my salary, man.
Yeah, and he still needs to be the president.
No,
he still needs
well,
to run the
the only way you can
country.
remove him as president is to actually impeach him.
He can
That's
be
the only way you can
voted
remove him.
out. And if he reveals something which goes against the Constitution, doesn't matter who he is,
Yeah,
if
what
he's the
constitution?
president or
You just
not.
invented the constitution. What constitution?
No,
I said.
I'm just saying, if
Of
that
it-
was part
what-
of the
what
Official Secrets Act
That's not a
of
constitutional.
the
That's not a
state,
constitutional thing. That's not a
I,
constitutional thing.
I'm,
That's a
I'm,
law
you know
thing.
what? I would be concerned that if it wasn't,
It isn't a
if it was
constitutional thing.
there you
It's
go.
legislature. What is it called again? Legislative act. It's not a constitutional act.
Okay, but legislative act, if it's the highest legislative act in the country, and it says that this is what it's for because you're protecting the interests of the whole nation, and you are a
I
responsible
don't know whether you
president.
are. I don't know whether you are protecting the interests of the whole nation. You could tell me you have to sign this thing and then say, oh, by the way, what you just signed, let me be honest with you, I'm the Epstein guy. What the hell? And I've just gone and signed this blooming thing.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, well,
doesn't work.
why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it?
No,
I'm
they're
telling
gonna
you that I'm not
reveal
going to
all
sign.
different stuff, and you've signed it, and this signature covers everything else from now
No,
on.
I'm
It
saying
doesn't work that
if
way.
they haven't shown it to you and you have to sign before you see it, you don't know what you're signing.
Right, it will be something like this. Look, there's something in this room that's exotic in nature. It's alien. We're going to show you it, but sir, you have to ensure that you do not reveal this to anybody
Sergeant
else.
Major, come in here, please. This man says if I don't tell him, if I don't sign a piece of paper, he is going to
Not allow you
not show
in.
me for that. I'm your commander in chief. True or false? Sir, true. Shoot the idiot. Bam. You, Mr. Man, next to him. Are you going to die now? Or are you going to give me the damn piece
He's
of
not a
paper? I would
dictator.
certainly just do that. I would certainly do it
He is
instantly.
sworn in to protect the
And I
Constitution.
am
And if it
protecting the
means
Constitution by knowing what the hell you're trying to hide from me. I'm the supreme elected leader here. You will show me, and
and
then I
some
will
of
make
the
the decision.
responsibility of that leadership means that you cannot tell anyone else.
I don't know what that means, but let me see for myself. And if it's true, I won't tell anyone else. But if it's a blah blah blah, and it's just like the usual thing about we want our little secrets because we love our secrets because that makes us feel powerful. And then you say, why? There's going to be disclosure anyway. I mean, people have gone to the hill. People have said they've seen alien bodies. Any riots? Any disturbance? Any strikes? Nothing. People are just so wary of the whole thing. Do you know right now? I think someone said seriously tomorrow. I mean, this evening, when we finish this discussion, and then we just find out. Oh, by the way, there really are aliens. Ah, okay.
I think
Are you still
we've
are
been
you still going on holiday
sanitized to
next
it.
next week?
Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
yeah,
finish.
exactly. I agree. The world will basically move forward. There'll be
So don't
questions.
give me that thing. It's I don't anyway. So 3i Atlas, is it a thingy? Is it a what you call it? An alien craft? What do you think? I what do you think?
Me, I mean, we're not at the end of the show yet. We've
Oh,
still got time.
all
No,
right. So
no,
I want to
that's
ask you
fine.
some. I want to ask you.
Yeah,
That's fine.
exactly. We've still got about 5 minutes to go, so we're all right. We're all
All right.
right.
They say
Thing
its
is,
composition
will
is
they
weird.
allow the disclosure?
What?
Will they allow it even in the first place?
Who's they?
The governments. Will they? If they do discover that this thing is indeed alien, would they
Well,
even
you know
allow it?
there's a problem, don't you? There might be a problem. So you said it was elongated, okay?
Yeah.
All right. We don't really even know if that's the case. What happened was, as it went past, I believe it was Mars. Am I right? As it was photographed from Mars.
Yeah.
So I don't know how close it got to Mars, or whatever. But it was photographed from Mars. Now there were three cameras, two very high grade cameras and one not so high. The not so high camera took a picture of this object, okay? But the way and manner in which it was able to take the picture was like snapshots,
Yeah, that's
you know?
right. Because it was
And
moving
because it
quite
was
fast.
snapshots, it kind of elongated the
Yeah, I saw that
the
argument. Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of elongated. So it might be that's the thing. Now there are two that's why we're saying it's long torpedo shape or
Yeah.
lozenge shape, whatever it is.
Because it's
There were
fast
two
moving. Yeah. For an
exactly.
asteroid, it's very fast moving.
The,
Unusually fast.
there were two other cameras with better resolution and everything. And everyone was like, don't worry, we'll see what it really looks like when these cameras show us what they've got. Well, the cameras took the pictures,
But they
but
haven't, haven't haven't told us. Yeah.
Good on NASA said, oh, well, we can't show it to you. And people are like,
What?
what? And
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, yeah, there's a government shutdown now in the
Yes.
United States. I'm like, well, actually, there wasn't a shutdown. When you first took the goddamn pictures, why didn't you, why didn't you let us
Yeah.
see? So we're now waiting for the end of the shutdown to see the pictures. Some of the people are saying it's not as if the entire government is shut down. I
No.
mean, air traffic control is still working.
They
The,
have to.
the
Yeah. Key services have
key
to be.
services and whatnot, and somebody out there must be keeping an eye on the skies so that we don't get into trouble
Yeah,
with
exactly.
some meteorite or something coming out from nowhere. So actually, if you really wanted to show us this thing, you would. So the question then is, again, is why is it every time you deal with NASA, it's never straightforward. They're really
No.
slimy, and why? Well,
Yeah.
actually, when it comes to NASA, the real question becomes, why are people like this? You don't seem to be straightforward.
Yeah. It is strange, isn't it? They have shut down the answers to these high resolution pictures, which would have given us proper detail and have not released it. See, this silence from NASA is what fuels
Conspiracy.
conspiracies. Yeah, it does. What are they doing? When are they going to tell us? And it really is unusual and it's frustrating. They don't help themselves. Let's put it that way. They're supposed to be Yes, they're a government body funded from the US government, but they don't help themselves in the manner of communication. They really do need some more communication
Openness,
lessons.
glasnost, as good old, no, I don't like him, as Gorbachev said. Glasnost,
Openness.
openness, just be,
Hmm.
just open. Actually, the antidote to conspiracy and everything is just be open. You take photographs, you publish them. What?
What are they
But
concerned about? Unless they genuinely are concerned that it would reveal something which is exotic, but intellectually exotic. That's the fear, because it would be poured over by amateur scientists and whoever else after seeing these images, and they will conclude really weird and wonderful things. So that's why NASA's hiding it for now. Maybe they have seen the pictures already, no doubt they have, and they're now worried about releasing them because it and will reveal something which they're not allowed to reveal.
you see, I wonder if it's about not revealing something because it's it's some kind of secret that they have to hide from us for fear of alarming the population. I would imagine that it's something to do. I'm not can't put my finger on it exactly, but something to do like this: that they see something, and then it's got to go around to a certain number of people because they're trying to figure out how to make money out of it.
You think it is how to make money?
How to make money out of it? Okay, is there any way to monetize this? It's only when they thought, well, we thought about it for 2 weeks. We've got bupkis. Okay, let the oinks know.
I'm not,
But if there's some way of monetizing it, they don't want you to know.
not so sure. Not so sure. Come on, we've reached the top of the hour now. I want your
Let me
conclusions.
very quickly say
Do
that
you
the
think the Three-Eye Atlas is an alien craft? And yes or no, first off.
well, I can't give you that answer because I want to just touch very quickly on what we said. I said Nabuto, whatever it was. It's actually called Planet Nine, which is very boring.
Planet Nine, yes.
Planet
Nibiru
Nine,
was the was
2016,
the
Planet Nine. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So is it an alien craft? Yes or
Yeah.
no? Nah,
No,
nah.
I'm of the same opinion. I don't think it is. I think it's just an exotic asteroid. It would be
Mm,
great if it was, but then again, it would be
mm,
scary too. Or the alternative viewpoint is that it is an alien craft, but the aliens have told us, no, don't report it. So when you do take pictures of it, it's one of ours. Just hide it and just tell them that it's not, it's nothing to see here, folks. But there you go. Right. If you've loved this episode, please hit subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dives into prophecies, mysteries, and the unexplained twists of fate. You've listened to Tony and Tayo, and we are the TNT Talk Show. But unfortunately, we have reached the end of the show for another week.